Greetings guys, gals and non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are fighting, because there is a lot to be fighting for. As usual, there'll be a link in the description to the page of my website with a bunch of petitions, donations, emails to send to MPs, etc, etc. Now recently I have been taking a break from Twitter and Instagram, so I found myself back on TikTok after taking a very long break from TikTok. And whilst there, I was reminded why I left TikTok in the first place. That place is an absolute hell zone. And I came across this account, Coach Jake Maddock. Now, he is a cis-het male dating coach on TikTok. We all know those are the best types of people. The cis-het male dating coaches, they always know exactly what they're talking about. Now, this is this man's profession. I can't believe that dating coach is a profession. Firstly, that blows my mind. Secondly, I hate it. I don't want to talk about it. Because no. To start with, just before we even get into it, I think that not only is he a cis-het, 30-something-year-old man, he's also Australian. And I think that says enough as it is. I don't think I need to say any more than that. So now I'm gonna have to sit here and listen to an Australian accent. So I hope that it's worth it.
That is not a smart decision. Okay, that's really dumb. A high value man is not gonna wait around for 3 months, because he may value sex very highly, but it's very arrogant and egotistical of you to think that your sex is so valuable that you think he's going to wait around and beg for it like a dog. That's ridiculous, okay? All you're doing is you're playing with a cat with a little piece of string. He's having fun until he gets the string and goes, now what? All you're doing is playing hard to get. It doesn't work long term. It may work short term, but it's not going to work long term. All you're doing is avoiding your heartbreak longer. Do not live by that rule. That is really fucking stupid, okay? A high value man will not wait that long, nor will he put such a high level of presence on it. That, you need to change your thinking. That's really bad.
A high value man will wait as damn long as it takes. If I don't want to have sex with you, you're gonna fucking wait. A high value man or woman or person is going to wait as long as it takes for the other person to feel necessary. If that isn't going to work for them, then that's fine. You aren't compatible. If you aren't willing to wait as long as the person you're seeing wants to wait, then it's not gonna work. That's not the person who wants to wait's fault. That's not really anyone's fault, I guess. If you don't want to wait, then leave. That person who left is not worth your time. If someone is forcing you to have sex earlier than you're ready, that person isn't worth it. You can wait as long or as little as you like to have sex. If you want to have sex on the first date, go for it. Cool. If you want to wait 6 months, go for it. Cool. If you never want to have sex, that's fine. The other person will be okay with that if they want to be with you. You have to have a respect around that.
You know what's really fucking pissing me off? Society and all these people online and everywhere, you're pushing men to be more feminine and you're pushing women to be more masculine, and you don't see the issues that this is creating. We're saying we want men to be more vulnerable and show their weaknesses. And then we're saying women, you need to be strong and be the leader and be the CEO of your company and all this sort of stuff and be masculine, and pushing men to be more feminine and be in touch with their feminine sides and their feelings. You don't see the devastating side effects that this is having on everything. It's destroying families, it's destroying relationships. You would not believe how many couples come to me and the relationship's in turmoil. It's terrible. The sexual chemistry is gone, the attraction's down to zero, the relationship, they're right on the edge of divorce. The man is really feminine and the woman is super masculine, and the relationship's absolutely terrible. You need to stop pushing this bad agenda, guys.
No one is pushing anyone to do anything. Why do you keep saying this shit, man? Stop pushing women to be masculine. Stop pushing men to be... The point is that they've been pushed to be in boxes. Men have been pushed to be masculine. Women have been pushed to be feminine. Which, by the way, are completely made up things. We created those rules. We created the idea that men have to be in this box. Men aren't allowed emotions. Men aren't allowed to be vulnerable. Men have to be strong leaders, breadrunners. They have to be the leader. This is men. Women have to be soft and fragile, and they're overly emotional all the time, and they need protection, and they're weak, and they're small, and they have to look after everything. We created that. That's not nature. That's something that we did, right? Male suicide rates are very, very high because of this box that we put them in saying, hey, you aren't allowed to express emotions. That's weak. No, keep that to yourself. So by us saying, hey, men, please be in touch with your emotions. Please talk about it. Please get help. Please know that it's okay to be vulnerable. That is ultimately helping men to not want to die. I think that's a pretty positive thing, don't you? And we're telling women that they can, exist, have their own lives, have jobs, be successful. Why is that masculine? It's just sexism. It's just misogyny. All we're doing is telling people to do what they want. You can choose to be a very feminine woman, or you can choose to be a very masculine man. If that's what you want, fine. The point is that we want everyone to do what they want to do, be who they are. We want to encourage people to make their own decisions based on what they want, not what they're told to do. We want them to be themselves based on who they are and not who they're expected to be. That's the point. All this insecurity about masculinity and femininity is entirely based off of a construct that we created, and therefore we can deconstruct. It's a construct. We constructed it. We can deconstruct it. That's what we're trying to do. No one's pushing anyone to do anything or be anything. That's the whole point. You're the one pushing people to be things that they don't want to be.
I love this question. This is a really, really good question. Very interesting question. Why do guys think fat girls are easier? Simply because that's the way society portrays it. Yeah, a girl who's a 10 out of 10 and absolutely stunning is going to be very hard to get because there's more competition, right? But the girl who's not very attractive, there's not as much competition as trying to get her. And that's basically how people think. Obviously not always the case, but that's just the way it is. If people think you're easy, it usually has to do with your level of attraction. Now, in saying that, that's just how general society sees it, I think. Great question, though. Really, really interesting.
My guy, this man did not just say that fat girls were all unattractive. Bro! That's just not true, is it? Everyone is attracted to different things, different people, different traits, different features. There's not one set thing that is attractive. That's what society wants you to believe, right? That, you have to fit into this box because capitalism, they want to sell you, diet pills and makeup and shit. They want to put you in a box and say, this is attractive. That you want to look like this. But that's not actually how attraction works. The idea that, specific body types are just unattractive is just so not true at all. There are so many people who are attracted to fat girls that they're not unattractive. They may be unattractive to some people, sure. But then slim girls are unattractive to some people too. People have preferences. Stop basing everything off of your own mindset. And also don't be victim blaming here, being like, well, men think fat girls are easy because they think that there won't be competition. No, they prey on them. Because society is fat phobic. A lot of fat people are made to feel insecure and as though people won't be attracted to them, which is just not true. It's just not true. People are attracted to them because they are attractive, but they're made to feel as though they aren't, which means men will prey on them and say, well, you are lucky that I'm interested anyway. Fuck you. That's not true. Fat people are beautiful and attractive and fucking fantastic and stunning. And it's not that people aren't attracted to them. People are attracted to them.
Great question, Ina. And look, we all have things you're not really proud of, okay? And there's a lot of things you not want to share before or even on the first date.
Now listen, if I can't talk about trauma on the first date, I don't want it. If I can't talk about trauma on the first date, I don't want it. My trauma is my entire personality. So if I can't talk about it, then what am I doing? You know?
Great question, champion. And the answer is when it feels right. If it feels right on the first date, that's the perfect time to do it. If it doesn't feel right on the first date, maybe the second. If it doesn't feel right and you've had 3 dates together and it still doesn't feel like the right time, they're probably not your ideal partner. If you go on a date with your ideal partner, then the sexual chemistry should be palpable and you should want to rip each other's clothes off. If that isn't the case by the second or third date, they're probably not your ideal partner, okay? So you got to think about what would it be like with your ideal partner? And with your ideal partner, it would be fairly fast.
You know, I was with him at first. When it feels right, first date, chill. Second date, chill. But I was gonna keep going forever. And then he was like, third date and you still don't want to have sex? It's not it. Bro, stop basing sexual attraction and your sex drive purely based off of like a group of people. Everyone experiences sexual attraction differently. Everyone has different levels of sex drive. Everyone experiences this differently. You're forgetting the entire ace spectrum, firstly. Like there's asexuality and like demisexuality and things like that. People experience sexual attraction very, very differently. Sometimes people experience it very, very quickly, and other times it takes a strong emotional connection in order to feel sexual attraction. And other times people just don't experience sexual attraction at all. And all of those things are completely valid. Sometimes people don't experience sexual attraction for weeks, months, maybe even years. Some people don't experience it at all, and that is okay. It doesn't make you or your relationship any less valid. You do what feels right for you. Stop telling people that they have to have sex. You don't have to have sex.
Kelly, great question. I love this question. Really, really good question. How do you get over it if your partner has a girl best friend? You don't need to get over it. What makes you think you need to get over it? Society's telling you that you should be okay with it. Why? Why should you have to put up with it for? Why should you have to be okay with it? Tell your partner that you don't like the idea that his best friend is a girl. Tell him. He should prioritize your relationship far more than he does with his friend who is a girl, okay? He should separate himself from that situation with his friend so you can more prioritize your relationship. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You don't need to be okay with it. You don't need to accept that situation for what it is. Remember, relationships aren't compulsory, they're optional. If he's doing something which really upsetting you, you don't need to put up with it. Tell him, hey, I don't like that sort of attitude. I don't want you to do that.
Telling your partner who they can and can't hang out with, it's a bit controlling. No, it's quite controlling and not really okay unless you have like very valid reasons. Like if the person they're hanging out with has like caused damage to you or someone you love in the past, then I think that it's a bit more called for. But if it's just because you're afraid your partner's going to cheat on you, then I think you have a trust issue there. There's a bit of lack of trust and communication. You should trust your partner enough to have friends. Especially when it comes down to this like opposite gender thing. Who am I meant to be friends with? I'm attracted to everyone. Well, I'm not attracted to everyone. I'm attracted to very few people. I'm attracted to all genders. So am I just meant to not have friends? Or is it okay for me to be friends with other women? Because like that doesn't count. You could tell that his content is directed entirely at cishet millennials. Like, they're the only people watching this as cishet millennials. This argument is so, like, queerphobic, right? Like, okay, you're leaving out a whole bunch of people. Are we just not allowed friends? It's a bit rude, bit sad. I don't know. What am I meant to do? But regardless, I say it all the time, trust your partner. If you can't trust your partner enough to have friends of the opposite gender or the same gender, I don't know what type of relationship you're in, talk about it. Think about why. Ask yourself why you're afraid of that. Ask yourself the root of that issue that you have and talk about it. Discuss it. Get to the bottom of it, because that is most likely an issue you have internally rather than an issue they have. That's something you need to talk about. You need to trust your partner. You need to have communication, and you need to understand that platonic relationships exist. Platonic relationships exist. You're not sexually attracted to everyone in your life. And also, even if you are sexually attracted to someone, it doesn't mean that you're gonna act on that. People experience attraction to people even when they're in relationships. That is human nature. That's how sexual attraction works. We're technically not built to be monogamous, but monogamy is a large part of our culture. But just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you don't experience attraction to other people. You just don't act on it if it's going to hurt your partner. Trust each other. That's my advice. Maybe I should be a dating coach. Now this last one, the video I think is removed. So I've taken it from a stitch, which is why the audio is a bit bad.
You're going to have a lot of trouble dating with that weak, feminine attitude that you have, dude. Like, where's your masculinity?
Yeah, bro, asking for consent isn't emasculine. Asking for consent is quite an important thing. And I think that there was this whole thing about it, right? Like, don't ask a girl to kiss her because that's like weak. Asking to kiss someone is so much better. It's so much better. I love that. Asking, like, you should ask every step of the way. Is it okay if I do this? Do you want me to do this? How is this? Do you like this? Fantastic. That's exactly what you should do. There should be consent the whole time. The whole journey. There should always be consent at every step of the way. And I think that that is so good. And everyone I know, every woman I know agrees with that. I don't think that there's anything emasculine about that at all. I think that is important to encourage talking about consent. And I've seen a discussion about this, and it was really, really interesting. It was like millennial women saying that they'd rather men not ask and just do it because it seems emasculine and things like that. And I think that it's interesting because it comes down to, again, what we're taught. And I think looking at what we're taught and how society is and like what is normalized and like rape culture and things like that is so interesting. And I'm really glad we're getting to a point now where we are talking about consent more and the importance of that. And I think that we need to continue talking about that. I think once you're in a relationship with someone, it is slightly different, or it can be, because you have like signals and things. But when you're on like a first date or like near the beginning of a relationship, I think that it is very, very important to ask consent. In short, I think that it's very important to ask for consent, and I think that it is something we should encourage. I always see posts that are like, consent is sexy, and I would like to point out that consent is necessary. Saying that consent is sexy sort of diminishes it a little bit. It's sort of like saying that it's optional, because yes, I agree. Asking for consent, I believe, betters an experience because it shows respect and it shows mutual understanding and communication, and I think confidence as well. In my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many, and I think that this is something that we need to normalize and we need to encourage. I don't think that it's a masculine, and I think that if you think that asking for consent is a masculine, that is a terrifying thing. If men shouldn't be asking for consent because it's a masculine, we definitely need to be unlearning masculinity even more. That's a terrifying thought. Please ask for consent. Please always have consent. Okay, what I've learned from this is that I should be a dating coach. Also furthers the belief and knowledge that Australians, no. I have a decent sized Australian audience. You guys get it. You get it. Coming from a Kiwi, you understand. We're better. We're just superior. New Zealanders, we're better. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. Anyway, I am going to now go have a cup of coffee. A lot of people ask if I drink coffee or tea. I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope that you enjoyed this video. There's a bunch of people like this on TikTok, so if you want to see more of this, let me know. Comment some names. Who else do you want to see me talk about? What other dating advice can I give? Let me know. A huge thank you to my Kiwi Fruit and Kiwi Bird channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. And a massive thank you to my channel member of the day, Anya. I love and appreciate you so, so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the top link in the description or the little blue join button. You get my videos a day early, as well as 10% off my shop at thequeerkiwi.com/shop. And as a Kiwi Bird member, you also get some extra footage that doesn't make it into the videos. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah. And when you close your eyes,